Welcome to the RotoWire Leagues Cup show. I'm Adam Zdroik, talking about the Leagues Cup. Yes, Leagues Cup between MLS and Liga MX. I'm gonna look at some of the odds, and that's kind of it. We don't have full range of content at RotoWire for Leagues Cup, but we do have Women's World Cup content. We do have the cheat sheets up, rotowire.com/soccer trial to get the cheat sheets, to get all that stuff. USA plays Friday night. Yes, the USA will be competing against Vietnam, and that will be going on at the same time as some MLS and Liga MX teams playing. But I'm just going to kind of look at Leagues Cup in general, show what kind of content we still have for this. I'm going to say Messi's name about 50 times so I can get picked up by YouTube analytics and SEO. So Messi debut, Lionel Messi. Hopefully, some of the AI can pick that up, and I'm going to be saying Messi a lot here. But it's going to be Messi's debut. I'll get into kind of what I think about that. But some of the content you can still use, even though we're not going to have the Leagues Cup cheat sheets or any of that stuff. We don't have lineups. No one's paying us for them, so we didn't push to get them. We also don't get stats for them, so that's another thing. We're not getting stats from Opta, but we still have the full season stats for Liga MX, for MLS, and as you can see, both leagues here. You can click into team pages and click on all these teams. You can go through who's been playing. You can go through pretty much everything here. I clicked on the wrong one. I clicked on team trends. I wanted team pages here. But yeah, team pages. Team page, you got the game logs. You got the team stats. Very easy. All this stuff is sortable. You can get this for all MLS teams, all Liga MX teams. You got the team lineup trends as well. And then all the notes, of course. One thing that I was going through was the news here. So Liga MX, MLS, some of these teams are still getting players back from the Gold Cup. The Gold Cup that started a month ago. It's been over for, I guess it's only been over for about 10 days, I think it's been. But some of these Liga MX teams have not had some of their, regulars in their team because they've been away for the Gold Cup. One thing I was doing is just going on the news section of Liga MX, and you can see a lot of these players are returning to their team. America has a couple, Cruz Azul. America's getting their goalkeeper back. My guy, Malahon. Diego Lainez is returning. Rodriguez. So a few things here, as you can see. So some of the top Liga MX teams are getting their guys back from the Gold Cup. You also got MLS players returning from the Gold Cup. Even though they're knocked out earlier, I think a lot of them returned over the weekend, but you still have some things that actually change in the past week. I'm seeing rumors of like Julian Gressel maybe moving over to Columbus Crew in some kind of a trade because he wants to be on the East Coast. So there's going to be things like that are happening throughout the next month here. And as we get into it, as you can see, we have all these stats. We got depth charts as well if you want to look into that. But I could look at these games game by games, lineups by lineups, but we honestly have no idea how teams are going to look at Leagues Cup. I think that's kind of the main thing that I want to touch on before diving into it here. So here's the main page, MLS Soccer Leagues Cup. This is the first ever Leagues Cup, and I actually just learned about a few things this morning before the show that I'll talk about here, but we have no idea how these teams are going to play, how much they're going to rotate, how much they're going to put into this over actual league play. Maybe, some of the top teams will be like, okay, let's actually rest some of our players and we can get back to full strength for league play. Because, I mean, it really depends on how much these teams care about, the top three spots. You're getting into next season's CCL, next season's CONCACAF Champions League. That's kind of what you're playing for. I'm sure it'd be great to win the first ever Leagues Cup, but I mean, at the end of the day, some teams aren't going to care as much as other teams. Some teams just don't have the same kind of depth as other teams to where they're going to rotate and they're going to still be a good team. But because there's not MLS and Liga MX games at this during the Leagues Cup. I think you're still going to see a lot of teams play their top squads. Maybe there'd be some rotation here and there, but I still think that you're going to get mostly your top squads. There could be rotation in group stages a little bit for maybe like that second match kind of thing. There are teams who start playing July 21st, as today, Friday, and then have another game on the 25th. A team like that would be Inter Miami with Lionel Messi. So they're only getting a couple days between their first two matches in group stages. And then, of course, it'll be a little bit more before knockout stages. But there are teams that play on the 21st and then maybe on the 28th or something like that, the 22nd and then the 29th. As you can see, group stages are 21st to 31st. And that's just kind of what happens when you have three teams per group. You have some teams that have that get more rest than others in group stages. And the big thing, I guess, that I noticed this morning for Leagues Cup, if you aren't too familiar with it, if you don't know too much about it, I guess first up, LAFC and Pachuca are automatically in knockout stages. The previous champions in their respective leagues are already qualified into the next round. But all of these games will be taking place in the United States at MLS stadiums. So there's not going to be home games for any Liga MX teams. And when I was originally looking at the odds, I was originally looking at everything, I was like, okay, well, I kind of like a lot of these Liga MX teams more than some of these MLS teams. But when you look at it, it's like, okay, well, MLS is always going to be hosting a Liga MX team. And when you look at CONCACAF Champions League, the home team always seems to have an edge playing in the United States versus playing in Mexico. And that's definitely a downgrade for, I think, all of the Liga MX teams, if I'm being honest. As you can see here, when two Liga MX teams play, there's already a set list of stadiums of places to play for two Liga MX teams. And this is all in the United States. So, but when one Liga MX team plays an MLS team, the MLS team is going to host the game. So I think that's the main takeaway here, what we have. And then when two MLS teams play, the MLS team with the best regular season record in MLS will host the match. So if you're in first place right now, if you're like a Cincinnati, you're basically going to be hosting every game. Is kind of what it comes down to. So 77 matches are going to be played. That's a lot of games here over the next week. But so looking at, I guess I'll touch on Inter Miami here. I guess I'll look at the odds a little bit. I can talk a little bit. Let me pull up the odds. So I could only find, and I no longer have that link up, obviously. No, here we go. So DraftKings, FanDuel, they do not have futures odds for Leagues Cup, maybe because it's the first ever Leagues Cup. They don't know how to take it. As you can see, MLSsoccer.com posted a betting article. They got odds from Bet365. 365. I don't have access to Bet365, so I can't actually make futures bets on this. So if you can find futures bets on Leagues Cup, this will be for you. But looking at these odds are interesting. So 3 of the top 4 teams are in Liga MX. And I just got done saying probably don't want to bet on a Liga MX team to win this whole thing. I'll be looking through the bracket in a little bit here, but how many away games, road games for these Liga MX teams can they win in a row to get to the final? I think that's going to be really difficult. I mean, I know I like America, Tigres, Monterrey. I know I like a lot of these top Liga MX teams more than most of these MLS teams, but when you throw in that it's going to be on the road, I'm just not sure that I'm going to get there. So early look at the odds. LAFC is the biggest favorite for MLS. If you haven't been paying attention to MLS, LAFC really hasn't been that good lately. It's kind of surprising that they are the favored MLS team. Most of that is based off of names on their team. They still got Chiellini there. Carlos Vela is there, but he's not playing as well as he has in prior seasons. LAFC just isn't as good as they were last season. I mean, I know they won MLS, but it just hasn't been there for him. So I'm not going to get there with that. Inter Miami is right behind him at plus 1200. The thing with Inter Miami, Lionel Messi, Lionel Messi, Lionel Messi. We don't know who's actually going to start for him. Is he actually going to start tonight for Miami? Uh, Messi was what? He's been on a month-long break. He got to Miami, was it late last week? And he only started training this week. Sure, it's messy and maybe he doesn't need training and that kind of thing, but he is playing with a bunch of new people. He's playing with the team that's currently in last place. Jordi Alba, I think, just technically signed today. Busquets, I'm not even sure if Busquets is there. How much are these guys going to play? I guess that's the first question here. Is Messi going to start and go in full 90 in all these matches? I think they're going to be, if Miami goes to the final, they're going to have 7 matches. I think it is 6 or 7 matches in a matter of 4 weeks. Is Messi going to start and go 90 in all those matches? Probably not. Probably not. Same with the Alba, same with the Busquets. I mean, we don't know the fitness level of these guys really, but plus 1200 is a lot. I kind of like Philadelphia plus 1400. I'd say arguably right now the best team in MLS, and you're getting plus 1400 in them. I think they're in a pretty good group as well, so they're in a good spot to get off to a good start. I asked the RotoWire's Liga MX guy. He gave me Toluca at plus 2500 as kind of a long shot a little bit. Toluca is something to keep an eye on. I think, but again, as I said with Liga MX, do you want to trust Toluca as an underdog, almost a mid-table Liga MX team to win all these road games? I think there's a lot of value actually in this tournament. I think you can look at the Union at plus 1400. I think you can look at Cincinnati at plus 1600. But if you want to go a little deeper, I think you can get a lot of long shots here for MLS, because if a team gets going and maybe they're going to play a Liga MX team in knockout stages 1 or 2, so they get a couple home games in group stages. I think there's a lot of value that you can get. Sure, in the end, maybe you're playing Cincinnati or Philadelphia teams that are going to get home games, but in a final or semifinal, anything can happen. So I'm not, some of these odds are kind of weird. Like you're getting at NYCFC at plus 2,500 and Atlanta at plus 3,300, but you're also getting like Austin FC plus 5,000. Austin maybe playing as well as anyone right now in the league. You're getting Real Salt Lake at plus 6,600, Minnesota at plus 8,000. You're getting all these. I guess these are all based off of the current standings. I'm not even sure Bet365 has put anything into form. So very interesting odds. I'm just going through the MLS site, which is taking a while here. I clicked on form guide. I actually have never used this link, but I'm not sure it's very helpful. Okay. I'm just trying to figure this out. Okay, so looking at Austin, I mentioned Austin. What are they? Plus 5,000. I mean, you can look at everything they've done. 4 wins in their last 6 matches. One of their losses was at Vancouver. They won at Minnesota 4-1. Real Salt Lake, another team they have not lost in their last 8 matches. It looks like they got a draw at Sporting Kansas City. They won at Toronto. They won at St. Louis. They won at DC United. So this is all over the country. Real Salt Lake has been playing well, and they got those big home wins. Orlando, New York Red Bulls as well. So Real Salt Lake is another team that got a few guys back from Gold Cup. They were playing well without a couple of their regulars in the Gold Cup. Those guys came back from the Gold Cup, and then they added Cucho Arango as well. So Real Salt Lake at plus 6,600 is kind of crazy when you think about it. I really want to bet futures, because I really want to take like Real Salt Lake to the quarterfinals, to the semifinals, even to win it all to get to the final. Real Salt Lake playing maybe better than anyone in the league right now, and I think I like their route as well. Then you could see the bottom of the form guide. Inter Miami, of course, is right at the bottom there. But yeah, looking at the standings here, we can see that Cincinnati is going to get all their home games. St. Louis also will be playing every home game because they lead the standings here. But So I think that's all I wanted to get in terms of odds. Maybe take a long shot on Mazatlan, 12,500 there, 12,500. You got the. Let's see what the MLS soccer game day staff says. Uh, Tigres, okay, that's it's not too exciting. Seattle, okay. You could go Seattle. Okay, I like their sleeper pick, but they just got Reynoso back and they've been playing better. So Minnesota 8,000. I like that. I'm just not sure Seattle has been playing that well right now, and Rui Diaz has been dealing with. He was hurt for a couple months early on, and I'm not sure they're going to want to run him out in all of these matches either. Ladero's getting older as well. They've been kind of off and on this season. Okay, they mentioned positive regression. That's fine. I haven't been entirely impressed by the Sounders this season. I'm actually going to pull up. So let's look at the schedule. I'm going to look at some of the odds here for these opening round games. I use oddschecker.com here. Not a plug or anything, but we don't have odds anywhere up on RotoWire. This is very similar to the RotoWire betting pages as well, where it compares odds for different places. So as you can see, Inter Miami are a slight favorite here. They are playing at home, so I think that's the main thing. Let me make sure I'm actually reading this correctly. I could have sworn that Inter Miami were an underdog. All right, let's actually go into this. Let's go into this game. No, they are favored. I guess I read the odds wrong earlier. Okay, Inter Miami are favored in this first game. If you want, if Messi's starting, maybe this is going to move to -150. If Messi does not start, this could swap. This could be Inter Miami plus 210 to win. So if you want to take those odds right now and wait to see, and you don't care about who's starting for Inter Miami, you know, and I guess you can go there. Again, all these lineups are hard to project. We don't know how these teams are going to take it. You could just go from a perspective of, okay, this team's at home, this team's at home. I'm gonna take that route, and I guess that's fine. I assume looking at this, Orlando is the home team. Otherwise, I don't know why they'd be actually favored here. Orlando is fifth in the table, and Houston is ninth in the other conference. All right. So, yeah, so you can kind of see here where all the home teams come from. I think it's actually, I already mentioned Austin here, -125 for Austin FC to win. I'd grab that. I think they're going to win this. I think they're going to win 3-0. I think they're going to get a few goals in this one. I think they're going to, I mean, maybe Mazatlan is better than I thought. Maybe Hugo Gonzalez is going to save 10 shots or something like that. But -25, 125 is a very small number. Houston, another team that kind of struggles on the road. Charlotte, Dallas is home. Okay, that's fine. Plus 105. Vancouver is home against Leon. Leon definitely a better team. Whitecaps doesn't sound like they're going to have Julian Gressel, one of their best players, just was with the United States at the Gold Cup. So that's why the odds are kind of like that. I'm not sure I'd even look at this match. This was a hard one to grab. I'd wait until the Whitecaps lineups are out. I guess I'd wait till the Leon lineups are out as well. I mean, you got a lot of these. Really, just I'd lean on the home teams. It's kind of what my general strategy is already. Montreal home against Pumas. Montreal seems to get a lot of wins at homes. How are they going to perform against Pumas there? Philadelphia -139. This is another one. I think it should be higher. I think this should be Philly -160 or something against Tijuana. Real Salt Lake +110. So this is, what did I say? What did I say they were? Plus 6,600, something like that. So you're getting a plus 6,600 team to win it all as a favorite in their first game against a plus 1,600 Seattle Sounders team. So it's just kind of funny. That's because Real Salt Lake are third in the table and Seattle are fourth in the table. That's why Real Salt Lake are hosting that one. And I mean, I could look through all these, but you guys are kind of bored with it. So let's I'm going to really quickly here run through all of my projections. So there is a bracket challenge up on MLS Soccer. I'm just going to run through all my projections. I went through these really quickly. You can play in this as well. I'm not sure if I'm actually in a league or anything, but if you want to play in a league, let's go for it. But I'm I'm gonna show everyone all of my projections here for this. All right, so let me get some coffee here. It's been a busy couple weeks here in the household. All right, so if you guys want a RotoWire bracket challenge group, let me know. I'll set one up, but don't copy everything I have here. So the difficult thing about this is first up we have these really good Liga MX teams. We have these top end Liga MX teams, and they're not playing at home. So how are we going to assess these top Liga MX teams not playing at home, playing for Tigres, playing at San Jose, playing at Portland? So that was the main issue I came with when looking at these. And as you can see in the first four groups here, I was like, okay, Tigres, Leon, America. I'll just go with those teams and don't care that they're playing on the road. But that is one thing that you're going to have to take into account. So I'm going to run through these. So Tigres, I think San Jose can win this. I'm not going to be on Portland. I think Portland to finish last is a decent bet, but San Jose at home. Um, Let me look here. Yes, San Jose will be hosting Portland, so that's a boost for them. And so San Jose will be hosting two games. So I think San Jose can win this one. Two games a better team, but we'll see what Espinoza can do for the Earthquakes. Real Salt Lake. I already mentioned Real Salt Lake multiple times here, taking them to win. I do think Monterey can actually finish second over Seattle. Not sold on Seattle. Of course, maybe they're just going to win this group and take it away like that. But I'll go Real Salt Lake to win this. I think Galaxy and Vancouver not sold on either one of those teams right now. So I'll go Leon in that spot. Uh, Similar to St. Louis and Columbus, I think St. Louis and Columbus can be pretty feisty teams, can't score against everyone, but America is just playing really well, and they're getting some guys back. They're getting their top goalkeeper back as well. Um, I definitely could see some upsets in this one, but just because it's America here, and I do like their team more than St. Louis, I do like their depth a little more in St. Louis and Columbus. I'm going with them. Minnesota, as I mentioned, Reynoso has been back for a few weeks now. Better team than Chicago, better team than Puebla. So take that. Cincinnati will be home in both these games. This is maybe, I don't know if people are using the term Leagues Cup group of death, but I think Real Salt Lake, Seattle, Monterey is competing with Cincinnati, SKC, and Chivas. This will be a fun one. Chivas gotten off to a good start this season. Two road games. How is that going to turn out for them? I think these are going to be some fun ones. I think the first game is going to be Sporting against Chivas. That's going to be a fun matchup. But playing two games at home, I'm going with Cincinnati here, even though I haven't liked as how well they've been playing of late. Nashville, you're getting two home games from Nashville. Nashville, just another team that plays well at home. Threw Toluca in there because Colorado just not that great of a team. Toluca, shout out to the RotoWire League MX expert who told me about them. Austin, two home games here. They got two Liga MX teams in their group, so that's two home games. I think they're going to take it. More, pretty good matchups too, I think, for them. So top there, Houston, two home game. Wait, no. Orlando. I just talked about that one. Orlando is actually hosting Houston. Houston and Orlando could flip flop there. Orlando has been playing a little better, maybe last couple matches and last month, I guess. And if you get two home matches, they could take that. I don't think Santos is going to be enough to win this group. Inter Miami, maybe one of the easiest groups. That's the only reason why I put them here. I put them here for fun. Atlanta, I don't think they're that good. If Messi starts against Atlanta, I think that Messi's going to get 3 goals. Maybe not, but I do think there's going to be a bunch of goals between Inter Miami and Atlanta. So keep an eye on that one once those odds pop out. Cruz Azul, They're okay. I definitely think Cruz Azul can win this one, but again, you have 2 road games. One of them is Atlanta. Atlanta's a good home team, so that's kind of why I have Cruz Azul at the bottom there. Charlotte, Dallas, Necaxa. I can never say Necaxa right. I'm probably saying it incorrectly right now. It's just, as you can see, a very difficult name to say here. Charlotte, Dallas, I don't see much of a difference here. Both teams have been pretty off and on this season. I think Dallas is actually hosting Charlotte, so that would be a reason for Dallas hosting that one. So if you want to take that route, just put Dallas above Charlotte. Philadelphia, similar to Austin, just a favorable schedule here. Not great Liga MX teams, not elite Liga MX teams. So they have 2 home matches against Tijuana and Querétaro. Pumas, putting them above Montreal, but again, Pumas 2 road matches in this one. Montreal, I believe Montreal has 2 home matches, and Montreal have been pretty good at home this season. Oh, I take it back. DC United is 1 point above Montreal, so DC United will have 2 home matches. I may change that one, DC United, to get them out of that 3rd spot, but I don't think they're very good. NYCFC, Atlas, Toronto. I just put NYCFC here because I don't like the other 2 teams that much. They will have 2 home matches because Toronto is second to last in the table. And then we got to the Revs, Red Bulls, and Atletico. Revs, I'm putting them above the Red Bulls. Let's get to knockouts here. And as we build this, as you can see, I got to Cincinnati just because they're going to have all these home games. I got to Philadelphia because they're going to have all these home games. I got 4 MLS teams in the Final Four. If these were all in neutral fields, it would probably be 4 Liga MX teams in the Final Four, if I'm being honest. But home games for these MLS teams, very helpful. I think the one route of getting Liga MX teams to the quarterfinals, to the semifinals, would be playing each other, or Tigres playing the Galaxy or something, playing like weaker MLS teams, and then you're getting Juarez or something. As you see, I got an upset in the first round, Juarez over LAFC. You got to be contrarian at some point. You got to be contrarian somewhere here. Looking at the Cincinnati schedule, as I said, that's going to be a bunch of home games, and Nashville, they're going to have a bunch of home games as well. So I think that's why I put them above America. Real Salt Lake, they're going to, let me check where, Salt Lake is pretty high in the table. So they're going to have a bunch of home games as well. So you get Real Salt Lake, who is, as I said, playing better than most teams in the league. You get Austin, who should have a decent amount of home games as well. So as you can see here, this Dallas, Houston, they've had a bunch of recent games, home games against Dallas and Houston. And as you can see here, they'd be running through just a bunch of MLS teams. So I think my 2 upsets here, Austin and Real Salt Lake. What would I say? Plus 5,000 for Austin to win it all, plus 6,600 for Real Salt Lake to win it all. So you got 2 upset bids right there. If you can bet futures, check those ones out. But I'll be going game by game. I'm betting all these. Reminder, join the RotoWire soccer group on DraftKings. This has been a long show. There's been a lot of stuff to talk about here. Just I'm learning about Leagues Cup the more I talk about it, and there's going to be more to learn about it tonight as we get Lionel Messi's debut. So thanks for watching this video. Maybe it's been long-winded, but hopefully it's helped a little bit. We got 3 weeks until the Premier League is back. I believe the first Premier League match of the season, we got Manchester City on a Friday. So that one should be fun. And we got all this other stuff going on. We got Women's World Cup as well. Again, rotowire.com/soccer trial. So you can get MLS stats. You can get MLS depth charts, Liga MX stats, depth charts, team pages, all that stuff we have. And then if you're interested in Women's World Cup, we have all that stuff as well for cheat sheets and stats. Thank you for watching this. You can find me at Zdroik. I don't know what kind of content we'll have over the next few weeks, but we're going to have some kind of content. I was gone for a couple weeks. Now I'm back. Now we're going to have stuff. Thanks for watching this. Good luck betting Leagues Cup, and find us in the DraftKings group. Find us in the Discord as well, rotowire.com/chat. hit me up on Twitter. Maybe I'll give some tweet bets out on my Twitter account for Leagues Cup. We'll see what happens. I think I'm gonna actually look at this first Austin FC game, and maybe I'll put together like some kind of plus 500 parlay out for the people, something like that. Thanks for watching this RotoWire Soccer on Twitter. I am at Roto Zdroik.